Lauren here, and I've got a quick layout here for you. So this is done in an acrylic album, and it is just the pages are cut down to size, or you put page protectors in, and it has an acrylic front and an acrylic back joined together by 2 rings. So I've cut this paper down and I've punched the holes so that it's ready to go, and I'm just trying to work out what I'd like to do with these awesome October kits and all this Vicky Bouton and other goodies that we've got. So I pulled out this photo that I've cut down to 4x4 size, and I've got it just from when we went to a retreat, me and my best friend, and just a fun little selfie just because. So I thought those awesome little puffy thickers would go great with it that say hello friend, and I'm trying to line it up so I can put this like a beautiful washi tape up the top, and then I realised one of them is a bit longer than the other for some reason. I could never cut to measurements and I just fixed that up, and now I'm going to attach that washi. So that washi tape, when I unboxed it, that was like one of my favourite things in the kit, and that's pretty hard to say because it was a pretty awesome kit this month. But I figured this would be a nice way to use it as a lovely little banner up the top to add that touch of beautiful gold up the top and work from it there into the bottom. So to make sure everything lines up, I put the pages together and I'll just cut through the middle like this and cut the edges off. So that way it goes all the way to the edge on both sides of each paper and meets in the middle there when it's open. So just cutting it down, just had to refix that one. It was a bit bubbly. And I'm just going to have a play with how I'm going to, position everything on the page. So there's not much. Everything's pretty self-explanatory here when I start figuring out what I'm going to do. I figured this is what I've got going for me, and I have a look through the stash, the collection in my really useful box to work out what I want and how I want it. So using the bags that the exclusive ephemera comes in as a layering piece, just gives a nice soft little touch to having that in the background. And yeah, so how is everyone? How's everyone going with their October kits? So hopefully you've all cracked into them and have gotten a fair bit of time to play and to create, and that you're sharing over in the Facebook group so we can all enjoy it and encourage you, but also get inspiration. So just cutting that down. And this is one of the projects that I've made without any mixed media. The mixed media kit is always my favourite of the whole 5 kits that I get. However, they are, becoming really hard to choose and say that it's always the favourite, because it's sort of like becoming a tie for favourite. There's some pretty awesome goodness in everything. So I've sort of thought I'd add some colour here, and I cut it down just as a bordering piece, and then I just don't like the way it's sitting and I'm not enjoying how it's going. So I'm just going to fussy cut these brush strokes, and I'm just going to use them then as layering pieces. So come back here, I've already cut them out, and now I'm just going to have a fiddle and a play with how they look as layering pieces that way. Isn't it funny how sometimes you can just pick something up and you know exactly where it goes on a layout? Other times you fiddle and fart around and, muck around for ages, and then you just go with something else, or sometimes you're not even happy with what you decide. I'm liking the way the Hello Friend looks, and then I'm thinking, because it's a big block of the photo, the 4x4, that obviously these strokes of colour are not the amount of colour that it needs. So I thought maybe if I layer it this way, having it coming out from the top of the photo, that way you see the bulk of the colour in it, and it works well, which I do really like, but I end up changing it, and this is not how it ends at all. Otherwise, this video would be finished in 30 seconds, and you can see that it has a little bit longer left to go. So this size acrylic album is I think I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 maybe, or 8, 5 by 8 or something like that. So it's a nice little size in terms of amount of space to use and to work on, but also not so overwhelming and not the same as the traveler's notebook and not the same as the scrapbooking page, but very similar to both. It's just another project I'm adding to my never-ending list of unfinished projects, or projects that I'm working on is probably more accurate. So I thought I'd have a play with this and work out. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do a theme. I did purchase it with December Daily in mind, and I might end up doing that and then purchasing another one later, like next year, to add this layout and any other random layouts, or maybe I'll make it a friend album or something like that. But the good thing about them is that they can expand and you can add lots of chunky goodness in as many pages or as little pages as you like. So yeah. So I pulled out that chipboard scallop banner, and then I realised this is where it's going to go underneath. I really liked it underneath, like on the bottom of the photo, but I like it more over here with underneath the title. Just adds a bit of grounding to it. And this is where my layout's going to come together. So I added that chipboard piece and a butterfly sticker up the top, just as a little something up there. I just wanted some kind of word and a focal image to be up there to draw your eye across and, up and down the page in a diagonal. And that is what won for me. So I'm looking at that paper going, or do I want a fussy cut? And then I remembered there is all these awesome flowers in the die cuts that are either the Vicky Bouden die cuts or the exclusive die cuts that you get from the Kitaholic Kit. So instead I went with that. I'm just having a play with which ones I want to go on there, and I settle on these lovely blue, yellow, and a pinky corally colour. And I'm going to work on a little bit of layering just to add another, just a little pop of colour, but not too much. So just a scrap of green paper here. Really did fiddle around and, second guess myself on this project. I don't know if it's because the project size is new to me, or whether, it was early on in the kit using, or whether I just really liked the photo and the event that I'm scrapbooking, that it was a bit tricky to get what I wanted to, you know how you're a bit more harsh on yourself with things like that. They're usually the three, there might be more. So there's usually, if it's the beginning of a kit, one of the first couple of layouts, it's always hard to choose what you want to use. Second is if your photo is something really important or you really like it and you struggle to use it because nothing's ever good enough. Or three, that your mojo's not going, or there's so many excuses, really, isn't it? We should just give ourselves a bit of grace and just say, hey, this is a creative process, just have fun with it, enjoy it, it comes together in the end, and what matters is that you're having fun and being creative and doing something you love, so that your mind is not, overworked and not having any fun, but also so that you can get memories documented for those that you love, that are in your family and your immediate and extended family and friends. It's just, scrapbooking is one of those things that other people are like, why do you have so much in your stash and spend so much time doing it? But it's like anyone else's hobby. It costs money to, and it doesn't have to cost millions and hundreds of dollars. You could be smart about it, but also it takes time, and the fact is that it's a hobby and it's a release of fun and enjoyment. So why wouldn't you spend time? It's just like that, people that go and spend hours playing sport, or, everyone has their own thing, or they at least should have their own thing, so that they are having some time where they get to relax and just enjoy their time, rather than always being, on demand and working out things, rather than relaxing and enjoying themselves. And it's pretty tricky with I don't know about you, but with creating, I have to sometimes I get in one of those funk of a moods and I'm like, I really want to scrapbook. I know it'll make me feel better, but I'm in a mood where if I create something now, I know I won't like it, and then I'll just be more annoyed at myself, and why bother? So I don't know. I'm obviously rambling. Hopefully this is true for other people and I'm not just, the wackiest person in the world. Actually, I'm sure that's not the wackiest thing in the world in terms of crazy factor. But, in terms of scrapbooking, perhaps it is. So I found these lovely flowers on that sticker sheet and realised that, if I'd known that, I would have put some on earlier in different places, but that's okay. So I'm going to add some leaves now. And just holding down the foam tape, it wasn't sticking very well. Just having a play with some more flowers. I didn't want to cover too much of myself, even though I don't enjoy that photo of myself, but it is it was a fun weekend and it was really how I looked and what we were doing. So adding some of the puffy stickers here, so that's a lovely puffy heart, and trying to make these tassels. Oh, that really looked nice there. Why didn't I leave it? Oh man, I have an idea for those tassels. Some things in your you know how when you look at collections and you're like, oh, I don't know how I'd use that. And then if they come in the kit, it's a nice little challenge for yourself to actually use it. They're one of those things that I really love. I like them. I love the look of them, but I'm not sure how I'm going to use them. And I think the way to use them is to think of a way to use them before I work out the rest of the layout. Does that make sense? So think of a design that includes them or focuses around them, and then make the rest of the layout come together around those tassel bows. So that's my plan. I'll let you know how I go, and let me know if you put up in the Facebook group or link us somewhere on social media so we can see if you have used those lovely tassel bows. And they're probably one of those things that are they're different for everyone. They're not things that we get every scrapbooking collection. So sometimes when things are a little bit different, they're a bit trickier to use. But I don't think they'll be as tricky as using giraffes and zebras and cats that are dressed in clothes that we've been dealing with over the last year or so. They're very pretty, but they're just, they're not what we normally scrapbook with. So just going through these stickers, the puffy and the clear stickers. So as you can see, I've chopped them up. That's so I can fit them in the section on the top in the really useful box, but that's also so that it feels less overwhelming. So especially once you start to use up one of those sections, so if that starts to be only one or two stickers on that little section, then you feel so productive and so accomplished, and it spurs you on to use things and stick them onto your page rather than hoarding all the beautiful goodness. So just having a play here, I've just added all types of little bits of goodness, a tiny word and some little stickers, butterflies, some hearts, some flowers, and we're pretty much going to call it a day. So let me know if you're working in some kind of project like this and how you're going, and let me know how you're going with the October kits. I'll see you next time. Bye.